Hello, student, and good morning to you all. Also, welcome to Standard 7th. Today, we are going to learn one of the poetry from English. But, children, before that, I would like to tell you few names of female poets who are famous in English literature because of their novel, poetry, drama, and etc. The names are as follows: Jane Austen, Anne Bronte, Elizabeth Browning, Emily Bronte, Charlotte Bronte, and many more. But from all these famous poets, I would like to tell you a brief introduction of our poetess Emily Bronte. So, children, this is the image of our poetess Emily Bronte. Now, let's see her introduction. The full name of our poetess is Emily Jane Bronte. Her sisters' names were Anne and Charlotte Bronte. She was an English novelist and poetess too. She wrote many poems and novels, but her only novel, Wuthering Heights, became famous. Now, the same novel is considered as classic of English literature. She was born on 30th July 1818, and 4 months after her brother's death she died on 19th December 1848 by catching a severe cold at her brother's funeral. Now, let me tell you a brief summary of the novel Wuthering Heights. So, children, this is the front cover page of the novel Wuthering Heights. In this novel, nature plays a huge part. It is a story of love triangles, scandalous, passion, and other supernatural. The story follows two Catherine and Heathcliff's fraught love. In the end of the story, Heathcliff's son dies, but young Cathy outlives Heathcliff and marries Hareton, who was her cousin. So, children, try to read this novel in your free time. Okay, children? Now, let's brush up our mind and back to grammar. Just to revise our tenses, which is always depend on the verbs. Children, we all knew whatever time passed away, we call it, yes, yes, give me the answer. Yes, it is past. The time which is going on, we call it, yes, yes, it is present. And the time which yet to come, what we call, yes, children, of course, it is future. So, let's recite a poem, past, present, future, written by Emily Bronte.
1.1 Past, Present, Future. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sigh mournfully. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits, gathering his power to mount and fly away. And what is the future, happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea, stretching into infinity. So, children, this poem is written by Emily Bronte. Now, you have your textbook, so one time again we will recite this poem, but this time you are supposed to recite the poem with me. Okay, children? So start. 1, 2, 3. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening soft and mild, with a wind that sigh mournfully. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits, gathering its power to mount and fly away. And what is the future? Happy one, a sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea, stretching into infinity. So, children, after completing this, you are supposed to read this poem again and again. Now, let's see what our poetess has given the message through this poem. In this poem, Past, Present, Future, the poet Emily Bronte asks a child what the past, present, and future look to him. Children, we can see in an innocent manner the child describes the nature. He associate means he connect all the times with each of this time period. Now let's proceed our poem stanza wise. Now, here this is our first stanza. Tell me, smiling child, what the past is like to thee. An autumn evening, soft and mild, with a wind that sigh mournfully. The hard words in this stanza are thee, you. Mournfully, in a sad and unhappy manner. You can see in the picture that the wind is blowing, and because of that all the leaves which are dry has fallen down, and for that reason the child is giving the reply when the poet is asking her to the questions. So in the first stanza we can see that the poetess is talking with a child about the different stages of life. The child tells that the season resemble the different stages of life and time. Past is like an autumn evening where the wind lets out a sorrowful breath because all the leaves have fallen down, and because of that the wind is very sad. The past for him means to the child is something that he remembers with longing and a little sadness. The following of leaves and mournful sigh of the wind convey the message that the child is very unhappy because the past has passed away and he cannot go back to it again. So, children, quote for this stanza: the past is there to learn from it, not to live in it. Means, whatever has happened in the past, we should learn from it, not to be always with it. Another quote: past cannot be changed, but the past tense can be changed to the future tense. Means, the past, whatever the thing has happened in your life, we can't change it. But due to it, if we want to make our future, we can change our future. Means we should not be live to the past. Another quote: don't judge yourself by your past. You don't live there anymore. So, children, if you are judging yourself on the past, so you don't live there anymore. Means if you will be always in the past, then you will not be able to do anything in the future or in the present. Now let's see in second stanza. Now in second stanza. Tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray, where a young bird sits, gathering its power to mount and fly away. The new words you can see in this stanza: flowery spray, a tree bearing green flower and green flower, mount, to get on something to climb. In this picture, you can see how the bird is sitting on the branch. She is sitting and she is thinking what to do because it is her present hour. So, here, in same way, again, the poet is asking the questions to the child about the present hour. So, let's see how the child give the answer to the poetess Emily Bronte. The poet again asks in same manner about the present hour. The child answers was very similar about the past. He says that means according to him the present hour is like a springtime which is full of green and flowery around. All the flowers are there. Means totally in present hour it is totally green, where a young bird is sitting on a branch of a tree and just learning to fly for the first time, gathering its all strength to make an attempt, means to fly, because she is flying the first time, so she is collecting all the strength. The child the present is full the child says the present is full of possibility, a place where he can take chance. He gather his strength and looking forward to ahead into the world. So children, in the same manner, we should make use of the present hour and be ready to take flight in the future. Quote for this stanza: do not devils in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Means here it means that you should not be always in the past and you should not always dreaming of the future. But what is the present? You should be concentrate on it, because if you doesn't pay the concentration on the present, so you will not be fulfill your dream. Okay children, now let's see second quote. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Means here, whatever the happiness is there, it's not postponed for the future, but it's all design, it's in the present. Means if you design your happiness in the present tense, then it can be postponed to your future. Now, finally to the third stanza. And what is the future happy one? A sea beneath a cloudless sun, a mighty, glorious, dazzling sea, stretching into infinity. New words for this stanza: glorious, something that is worthy of receiving praise. Mighty, huge and powerful. Beneath, under. Cloudless, stay without cloud. Dazzling, extremely beautiful. Infinity, beyond its limit, unlimited. Now, you can see in this image the picture of a sea and how the sun is is there in a cloudless sky. Now let's see what is the explanation of the poetess with the child. The poem concludes by describing future when the poetess asks about the future again. The happy child says that it is like the unknown vast. Here, vast means big sea that he has stretched far and wide beneath, means under the bright sun, means the sea is flowing under the bright sun. The child says, we cannot see the end of a sea. So children, you can see in the picture the sea don't the sea doesn't have any end. Yes, it's flowing. The child says, we cannot see the end of a sea, and the child associate means he link all the images with future. According to the child, the future is wonderful, exciting, as well as mysterious, and he is also eager to explore it. Future also implies that bright future is awaiting for us. We have endless opportunity which we should grab and not waste the time. In this poem, poetess has used metaphor. It is indirectly compares past to autumn, present to a bird, and future as endless sea because the sea don't have any end. And the adjective used such as mighty, glorious, dazzling, all are describing word. To use this stanza to understand and glance on the future. Quote for this stanza: the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Means, if you are dreaming that I want to become IPS officer or a doctor or etc. So you are believing that one day you are going to fulfill your dream. So future is that if you belong to those who believe in the beauty, means you are believing in yourself. So if you believe in yourself, you will definitely fulfill your dream. Second quote: the best way to predict your future is to create it. So if we want to predict our future, so we want to create it, means we should build up ourselves. Central idea of the poem: the past is something to belong, the present is something to plan, and the future is something to look forward to. Quote for whole poem, we can say that accept your past without regret, handle your present with confidence, and face your future without fear. So, now let's see what our poetic devices are there.
So, children, this is our first poetic devices in our poem Past, Present, Future. They are rhyming scheme and rhyming words. Each of the three verses is a quatrain. 4 lines are long and uses a simple AB rhyming pattern. And the rhyming words from the fourth stanza are child, mile, hour, power, spray, away, one, sun. Now let's see another poetic devices. The Another poetic device in the poem is figure of speech. Children, what is figure of speech? Why in the poem figure of speech is used? Okay, children, let me explain to you why it is used in poem. It is used to convey message by identifying or comparing one thing to another, which has an idea or meaning. That is why it is helpful in creating vivid rhetorical effects. So, children, in this poem, past, present, future, we will learn two figures of speech. They are metaphor and personification. So, let me explain to you about metaphor. Metaphor is an imaginative expression that refers to something, someone as another thing. It shows that the person or thing has some quality of that other person or thing. The word as or like is not used in metaphor. Example related to metaphor: 1. He is a gem of a person. In this sentence, gem is indirectly compared to a person. Now let's see second example. Time is money. In this sentence, time is indirectly compared to a money. Now let's see the example of metaphor from the poem. Examples of metaphor from the poem. What the past is like to thee, an autumn evening, soft and mild, with a wind that sighs mournfully. In this sentence, past is indirectly compared to autumn evening, which is soft and mild. Second sentence, tell me, what is the present hour? A green and flowery spray. In this sentence, present is indirectly compared to green and flowery spray. Now let's see third sentence. And what is the future? Happy one, a sea beneath a cloudless sun. In third sentence, future is indirectly compared to sea and cloudless sun. Now let's see another figure of speech. Personification. It is a figure of speech where non-living objects are described to seem like people. Example of personification: 1. The sky weeps. Here, sky is given human quality that she is crying. Second, the leaves waves in the wind. Here, leaf is given human quality that they are saying goodbye. Example of personification from the poem. With a wind that sighs mournfully. In this line, wind is given human quality that they are sad. Thank you, students, for listening to me and watching video.